fan of the Hodaki Big Show podcast? Make sure you check out more from Jay, Smike and Keezy on their Instagram at Hodaki Big Show, or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hodaki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Good
you
on you.
so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you, mate.
Pugson, you're back, mate. What's going
I know,
on?
for God's sake, get him out of here.
Yeah, I reckon. Where's the other guy that used to be there?
Who?
Old Hoity J.
Oh.
Poor
Did you hear
Jess.
about Paul Kent, man? Have you heard the latest on him?
Okay, so Paul Kent, no, I haven't. He's a presenter on an NRL show, Pugs, who's a bit of a dick.
I
tears
saw
shreds,
this article, man.
and he got thrown into a tree during a
He's
pub
a massive
brawl.
prick. He got done for domestic violence last year, although that was an interesting read.
Was it?
And well, you can't blame it all on one person.
Yeah.
Where you break up with somebody, you tell them to take this shit, and they leave, and then they come back into your house, and they won't get out of your house.
Right.
Like,
Was he the one
get the fuck out of
in
my
the house?
No, it was
Oh, the
his
other way
former
around.
partner. It's
Right,
like,
okay.
just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, he got found not guilty of that particular setup. But he's one of those guys that's always bagging players and holding them to impossible standards. And anytime they do anything wrong, he wants them thrown out of the game. And then, of course, he has a shocker. So very funny the other night when he was starting to fight and then got hiffed upside down against a tree. He ended up being hospitalised, it says here.
Really? It did look pretty gnarly.
Kent can be seen arguing with a group of men outside a bar in Rozelle, which is in Sydney. Kent is audibly heard calling one man a dog head. Now,
a new one.
in Australian culture, calling someone a dog is as
about
low
the
as
worst
it's as
thing,
low
eh?
as it goes. So a dog head,
See, I'd equate that to calling someone a dickweed.
yeah,
Sure.
Dickweed.
yeah, dog's pretty low. But apparently he's been hospitalised and has now been charged with a fray.
A fray? What's
A fray,
that?
fray?
so that's assault, essentially. So fighting in a public place.
Right.
And he's in hospital with a collapsed lung and broken ribs.
Oh, my goodness.
Jeez.
But to be fair to the guy that made him look like an idiot, it was Paul Kent that was doing it. This guy was trying to back off. Paul Kent kept on going him.
Yeah.
And then this guy just used his body weights against him to throw him up against the tree, so he ended up upside down with his head in the gutter.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't beat him up or kick his ass or even punch him in the head.
Stupid games, man.
Have you been in any pub fights, Mogi? Old pub
Kent.
fight, Mogi.
Nah, I haven't. I've been in an outsider pub fight, but not an insider pub
Yeah,
fight.
I've never been in a pub fight either.
I don't think I've been in a fight full stop, man.
Have you not?
Nah.
How do you reckon
Do I
you'd
look
go?
like a confrontational person? to
No,
you?
but you look like someone who wouldn't mind throwing the old fisticuffs after he's had a few responsible beverages.
I think if it was a last resort,
Right.
I would see how I went. But I'm not banking on
What
myself
about if
either.
the second last resort is running away?
Well, I'm not doing any running, so we're going straight to the last resort.
How do you reckon you'd go, though? Do you reckon, can you summon up the anger and the aggression?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't. It's like when I trained to be a security guard. I quit that after one shift.
Right.
Because I realised that after all this training, they take you through, or at least the company I worked for, took me through all the stuff to get this qualification on how to not get sued, how to make sure you approach people the right way so what you're doing is justified and looking for the signs that someone needs to go. Not once did they teach me how to actually forcibly remove somebody from anywhere if it came down to it.
What was,
And that's
what
why
was
you
your
have
job?
security.
At a bar?
It was everywhere, but my first shift was at a liquor store.
Right.
And yeah, after that shift, I was like, well, this whole time I was in this liquor store, if somebody walked in here, looked at me in the eyes, grabbed a bottle of vodka and fucked off, I wouldn't know what to do.
Nothing.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's a point with bouncers, and I think there's a bad culture with bouncers where they get physical all the time at any excuse. But I wasn't trained
It's an
on how to
opportunity
do
to
that.
kick
That's
some
right.
ass.
That's right. And often they get away with going over the top as well because
Yeah.
all the patrons are pissed.
Yeah.
No, I can do that.
But anyway, that was the very long way of me saying I wouldn't know what to do.
But you were good at running security when we had a particularly raucous live show that time.
Yeah, but
Were you using a wee bit of your training?
nah.
Because you were sort of
I
at the
don't
front.
think so. Bear in mind, this is like 2016, 2018.
I was going to say
some
20
shit
years
like
ago
that,
when
maybe.
you were 8.
Yeah, 20 odd years ago. No, that was just me, doing it in a laughy, funny way. Like, hey, get away, guys. We're going to make some cool
Hey,
radio.
what?
Back the fuck up.
Why I ought to bloody give you yeah.
I order
It
one
was
of
good,
these
though.
days.
The Hodaki Big Show Podcast. The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
Security mug, you ever done that?
No.
No. I used to work as a bartender down in Christchurch straight after the earthquake. There was only one bar left. It was a steakhouse, and they turned it into a nightclub.
What was the name of it?
Running Bull.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and some people listening might go, oh my God, I remember that. But I worked behind the bar there, and the bouncers that worked there at the time, they showed me this thing where, because people kept reaching over the bar to grab beers and stuff.
Yeah.
Or grab the vodka out of the house bloody spirits tray. And it was another bartender. He said, this is what you do, man. You grab their thumb and their forearm, and you pull them together with one hand and squeeze it. And he literally, I saw him lead out maybe 5 or 6 people over the sort of year I worked there, just walking them out like that.
But how do you even grab, like if somebody's moving, how do you...
And they're pissed, right?
How do you get that?
So they're reaching over, they're pissed, and so he grabs them like that.
I see.
Which is hard to see when you're listening.
Yeah.
But he's a little fella too. He wasn't a big fella. And he led so many people out like that. And then
That's
the bouncers
great.
just sort of
Beat the shit out
beat
of
the
them.
shit out of him afterwards.
Dicks
That's what
Yeah.
they get, eh?
So good, man.
Somebody I know got concussed from a bouncer and then went to court because there was security footage of this guy getting kicked in the head by a bouncer.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. But obviously he couldn't really say a lot to defend himself because he was maggoted.
Well, there's no, you don't have to say anything to defend yourself against being kicked in the head.
Yeah, true.
In the States, or some states of the States, that is kicking someone as an assault with a deadly weapon.
Yep.
Because of the power that can
That
be
makes
generated
sense.
through your legs. And it should be. You
Yep.
can't kick someone in the head, straight to jail.
Absolutely.
That's 5 years.
100%.
Yeah.
Straight to jail.
See you. Bye-bye.
It's off Parks and Recreation. You do anything like that in my country, straight to jail. You know, you drop some litter, straight to jail.
Aziz.
Great show.
It's so good. Yeah, no, I've never really had any. I'm not much of a get aggressive on the piss guy, though.
No, I never have been either. Lulz. It's all lulz, man.
Yeah.
Lol.
It takes a lot to take me from being, because especially when I was about 18, 19, growing up in Tauranga, there was a particular group of boys my age, they're not my friends, but
Right.
this group who would just go to town looking for fights, and that was their thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's definitely a thing.
Wellington's turned into
I had
that,
a
Wellington
mate that
town.
was like that, and when we'd go out, and we'd nearly get into a fight like all the time.
Yeah, like walking and bumping people and stuff.
and he would always say, "Man, saved your ass last night, man, saved your ass last
Oh,
night."
my
And it's
God.
like
Sure.
every time I go out, I never get in a fight or nearly get in a fight. But every time I'm with you, I always nearly get in a fight.
yeah.
Did this guy ever fight anyone?
I loved it.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he just muck
He
it.
was a massive scrapper.
So awful, man. I hate that shit.
I wish I
really
was a
hate it.
scrapper. Do you think of me as a scrapper, fellas?
Yeah,
Nah.
you're sort of like a punching bag. Is that what you mean by a scrapper?
Nah, I sort of meant the one throwing the old fisticuffs.
Yeah.
But Mogi, I did 6 months of kickboxing.
Yeah, I know.
Did
that
you
should be
actually?
enough.
Yeah.
That's cool as.
Yeah, I hated it. Do you know
Oh,
why? It was cool.
Yeah.
And it's really good fitness. But I
Asthma?
realised no, my asthma was actually in a good place at the time.
You had your Ventolin on deck.
I had my ventilator. I put a full nebulizer in, and I
Sure.
just quickly unzip my bubble, throw a punching bag in, and then zip it up again. And then I just go to town on that. No, but I realised that everyone that I was training with was these guys who wanted to go to town and fight people.
Right.
They
Yeah.
were all aggressive dickheads. And I was like, this is, I guess, what happens when you go to a kickboxing thing.
Yeah.
People just want to beat the shit out of people in
Yes.
public. They're not doing
They
it to
want to
be
learn
like...
some technique.
And like, I can imagine people that, and no offense if this is people listening, but if you get quite good at kickboxing, you're almost looking for an excuse to use it.
I think the opposite's true. I think once you
Once you get to a certain stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
guys that are just sort of learning it to learn how to kick some ass,
Yeah.
they're waiting for a chance.
Young Blake out there.
Oh,
two,
yes.
two black belts.
2 black belts.
One in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is the sort of
Out the gate.
on the floor
Wow.
wrestling
Unreal.
stuff. Yeah, I still reckon
I
I,
reckon
could take
you'd
him.
waste them, Pugs.
Oh, yeah.
We should
absolutely.
set that
Get him
up.
on the ground. It's over.
Let's get him in here now and let's have a fight with you two, mano
First
a mano.
time for everything,
Yeah,
fellas.
get some grease going on each other.
Oh, that's
It's also-
avocado oil.
2 of the least aggressive guys I think I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I'd pay to watch it,
There's a darkness in both of us.
if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Hey, looking forward to the live show tomorrow, fellas, at Andy's Burger Bar at the old Sky Tower there.
Are you?
If you don't know how to get there, follow the instructions. There's a vid we put up on the Hodaki Big Show's Instagram.
The vid.
That was a great vid.
Lovely little
I
video.
had fun
Great,
editing
very,
that.
very quick editing, Pugs. Quick
Had to
turnaround,
do it, man.
mate.
Yeah, it was good,
Had
man.
to do it for the people.
Yeah, it's so good. We'll see you there. Also, listen to the Hodaki Big Show, 4 till 7 weekdays on Radio Hodaki. We'll see you later.
Thanks, mate.